Good morning, investors and traders. This is Naeem Azam, Chief Market Analyst at TowerTrade, and welcome to our daily technical analysis segment. In today's market analysis, I will be looking at one critical question, and that is, what is going on with the Dow Jones, S&P 500, and the Nasdaq? Are we going up or down? And we will perform some technical analysis, look at some key levels where the market can really fall to, and then perhaps we could see some sort of a retracement if there is going to be, or if the price is really going to continue its trend, whatever that trend is. As always, it is important for me to go through this disclaimer and warnings. Anything which will be discussed cannot be perceived as an advice. If you are seeking for one, please do consider consulting with your own financial advisors. Now, I have an MT4 platform in front of you, and I presume all of you guys know this platform quite well in relation to buy and sell, and then how to deal with the charts. If you don't, then go to one of the videos on our channel where it explains you how to use the MT4 platform, or you can search it anywhere on YouTube. Now, what we see on the daily time frame is, first of all, you have three different key matrices. Number one is your 50-day simple moving average, then followed by your 100-day, and finally your 200-day simple moving averages. Two questions over here: why am I using moving averages, and why am I using these particular numbers? The reason that I'm using these moving averages is because they give me a really good indication in relation to the overall trend, how the trend is performing, is the price is going to go up, or whether the price is losing its momentum. Now, given the fact that the price has broken below the 50-day simple moving average, and also for the last month or so we already attacked the 50-day simple moving average three times, it was very clear that this price movement is going to go lower. Now, for the first time, we have actually we will say that for the first time since going back all the way to October, the price has crossed below the 50-day simple moving average, and that means we could see a serious retracement, because back in October when it happened, markets saw really easily about 3 to 5% retracement, and then that is what we are really expecting as well in terms of the Dow Jones. Now, on the daily time frame, as we discussed previously in our technical analysis videos, that for the last 3 weeks, the price was very much consolidating. And now we have broken out of this consolidation zone, and now the price is moving to the downside. The first primary area of support is going to be somewhere near 29,000 in terms of the Dow Jones, because that is where the 20-day simple moving average is trading. Are we going to break below the 50-day simple moving average? Perhaps we may be, because the 50-day simple moving average, 50-week simple moving average, because we are on the weekly time frame, has dropped below the 100-week simple moving average, and that shows me that, look, there is more sell-off about to happen. So where is that buy zone? Where is that particular important price level where we could see some sort of a buy potential? The first one is going to be right over here where the 20-week moving average is trading, and I'm going to draw them over here. And then followed by that, the next important support area is going to be where the prices are trading right over here, in around this area on the weekly time frame, which is, by the way, quite a big area to focus on, but it is what it is, and that means you just have to adjust your buy position, your size of the position, where it runs from nearly 26,000 to 27,000, approximately a 1,000 point move over here that we are really trying to see. But that is where the 50-day simple moving averages are trading. However, what is quite important is that we can narrow it down to up to this particular point. So I think if we look at this one, the wick of this candle, it gives me a little bit better narrow of that area. It helps me to narrow that area a little bit more, because now we are looking at 26,434 to 27,042. So because if the price breaks below these moving averages, then we are really moving towards the 200-week moving average, and that is going to be the focus. So overall, with respect to the Dow Jones, a lot of weakness is still very much in place. We are going to be focused on the first primary area of support, which is going to be right over here, and followed by that on the daily time frame, another area of support can be identified, and that area of identification is really going to come from this particular candle, from where the explosive moves happen right over here, because that is when the explosive moves happen. From here, the price broke out of this consolidation or the previous resistance area. So you have level number 1, you have level number 2, and then you have finally your level number 3 to precisely speak of. So that is these are the price levels that we are really looking at. If you really like, you can narrow it. You can change this one to on the daily time frame to encompass this one. And if we do that on a weekly time frame, then we are really looking at the VIX of these particular candles. But because, and it is likely, because if the price will continue to move lower, these moving averages will move lower as well. So you can choose both areas, whatever you like. You can choose the bottom of this one, or as I had it before, we can choose this particular area where that massive bull run started to happen. But overall, on the daily time frame, the prices are looking a little bit oversold. And that indicates to me that, look, okay, if the price breaks, which the price is recovering its losses now, if the price breaks back above the 50-day simple moving average, go for a long, put your stop losses just below this one, and then let this trade work, and then see how that trade is going to focus. But right now, you may want to keep your short trade and then let this market to continue to move to the downside, and keep your stop losses near the 20-day simple moving average, or just slightly above that, and then see how the price will perform. Now, in terms of the S&P 500 index, the price has moved above the 50-day simple moving average after the big breakout, and now the battle is really on with respect to the 50-day simple moving average. Price is trying to stay above it, and then the reason for that is obviously because the RSI over here is showing that, look, we are oversold. But for me, an important area of support, we will define that in a bit, but we need to look at the weekly time frame and then see what exactly is going on with that one. So for me, the weekly time frame is really saying that this is where the support is going to be. The price has already formed a lower low, but we also have a higher high in comparison to last week. So we really have formed a massive range this week. So the next week it's going to be very important, and then we'll see which way the market will break. So the S&P 500 index overall has shown us that yes, there is a weakness into the market because we have gone much below than the last 2 weeks, but in terms of a strength, we have a very little strength because the price has gone only slightly above than the last 2 weeks, and that indicates to me that, okay, there is a more room to the downside in terms of price move. So for that, keeping that in mind, I'm going to keep my support zone in around the 50-day, 100-day simple moving average, and I'm going to expect this price to move to the downside in order to have my stop losses in place. I'm really going to put a stop loss on top of this particular candle, and I'm going to wait for I'm going to continue to hold this position, if I can say it, or on the high of today, and then see, actually the high of today would be very good as in terms of a stop loss, and let this trade to move to the downside, because on the weekly time frame we are seeing that the prices are likely to move to the downside. Now I will have a very quick look at the Nasdaq 100 index. Again, the price action is very similar. On the weekly time frame, we have gone above more to the upside. We haven't formed a lower low, and that confirms to me that, look, the Nasdaq is still very much solid. The chances of retracement, of a big retracement happening with respect to the Nasdaq are little, but this is the area where we could potentially see some sort of initial support coming where the prices are trading now. But if that doesn't work, then what we got to be looking at is we got to be looking at this area of support, which is about 12,159 to 12,304, and then see how the market will perform from there onwards. All right, that's all for now. Thank you, happy trading, and I'll see you guys next time.